Really quick before we get into the video, my band Crusade is playing our first show of the year here in our hometown Nashville on February 20th at the Cobra. Come check us out. It's going to be a fun time, great lineup, and you get to see if my big mouth can stand up to the playing that I do. Anyway, NFTs, the not exactly new craze. People are paying hundreds and up to millions of dollars for mediocre artwork and crappy gifts that the people who made them should be embarrassed to be selling. The people who are buying these NFTs are either stupid or gambling addicts. Okay. To be fair, there are some people out there buying NFTs who want a different or more direct way of supporting the creators that they love, especially in music. Some people want to call this the future of artists supporting themselves online, and again, especially in the music industry. I think that is complete bullcrap. And hey, this will feature me, Future Mike, as well. By the time I finished editing this video and was uploading it, I realized I messed up some fundamental properties of NFTs that change what I think and what I would tell you guys. So I, Future Mike, will be interspersed throughout the video to help correct not quite so Future Mike. So why are NFTs a very imperfect solution? What's an NFT? I prefer to think it stands for Nectar for Twits, but it actually stands for non-fungible token. It sounds like a token with no fungus on it. Fuck, that joke is so obvious and terrible, I think I'm gonna go kill myself. All these bad jokes are not helping us understand this 10-head galaxy brain concept any better. Chances are, if you've heard of NFTs, you know they have something to do with cryptocurrencies. In order to understand NFTs better, we should know how they are different than traditional cryptocurrency. One of the properties of crypto that makes it potentially useful is called fungibility. What is fungibility? To describe it as simply as I can, it's when two assets of the same type are interchangeable. For example, these two $20 bills. They are the same asset in the same amount, but these $2 bills are not literally the same. These are each printed with different serial numbers. These were each minted in different years. Like, in all honesty, if you can see this, they are literally minted in different years. You can't see it, it's fine. Each of these bills are made up of different physical molecules. They are not the same molecules, they're different. Two physically different objects. But the fungibility of these two $20 bills makes us look at them as if they are essentially the same. They are so interchangeable between one another, we basically shortcut to saying, oh, these $20 bills are the same thing. We could use either one of these $20 bills to pay for $20 worth of stuff, and it wouldn't matter which one we choose. It wouldn't matter to anyone. Each piece of cryptocurrency acts the same way. It's fungible, just like normie traditional money. And that's what makes non-fungible tokens on the blockchain so interesting. It was the first time people were trying to place value on crypto tokens that were not directly interchangeable, at least not the same fungible type of token. And there was a reason for this. They wanted each of these tokens to be unique in and of themselves, but be purchasable and transferable on the blockchain. And this is how they believe they have created scarcity in digital art in the digital age. It is a revolution.
Somebody once told me the world's gonna roll me.
Okay, so what's NFT ownership mean? So say I buy an NFT of a song. Do I own that song? Maybe. You have no way of enforcing that ownership unless you want to walk around with a gun and threaten people for stealing your property. But I thought NFTs were pieces of art that people were selling online. No. That is the most common misconception of what an NFT is. NFTs are effectively a receipt that says you have exclusive access to the art or product that is attached to the NFT. NFTs can sell access to art, like pictures and music, but they can also sell access to products like tickets and merch. So if someone illegally downloads my NFT song, that means I can show that NFT in court and be remunerated for my money, right? Lamau, no. Owning an NFT does not mean that you own the copyright to any piece of artwork. So what the fuck do you own? You own the token, a receipt on one specific blockchain that says you have access to. It's scalable and changeable per NFT, but it is very rare that you actually purchase any IP ownership with an NFT. Wow! Already this is a bit of an exercise in futility, right? Not completely. Strangely enough, some of these NFTs have a lot of value. As we know, value is all based upon human perception. Something is worth what someone is willing to pay for it. So why are people placing so much value on NFTs when they aren't effective at proving or enforcing, well, anything? This is what I call the crypto problem. The fundamental problem with cryptocurrency today is the same reason why NFTs hold any value right now. Most people who own crypto are trying to buy low and sell high in order to maximize their traditional currency, instead of people actually using the cryptocurrency as a currency. They are acting as more commodity than currency at the moment. Crypto was not meant to be traded as a commodity in exchange for USD. It was meant to be used and possibly replace USD. Crypto is always evolving. That's part of what's so exciting about it and potentially amazing about it. But as it stands right now, it is absolutely overinflated. And frankly, pretty stinking volatile. NFTs are also extremely inflated, but they have a different utility that I don't think we really understand yet. We don't know just how much use we can really get out of NFTs or not. The creator of an NFT sells the NFT and they get the money. Each subsequent sale, a percentage goes back to the creator. Anyone who sells the token gets a percentage of each subsequent sale after they sold it. This is reminding me a little bit of pointy structures that exist in Egypt. This is why I made the gambling comment at the beginning of the video. It's like playing a game of hot potato with a group of morons and addicts. Everyone who sells higher wins, and the loser is left holding the NFT. The value of the NFT lies in not being the last person to own it, which is completely antithetical as to why the technology was made in the first place. Lamau, no. NFTs are what I like to call the Emperor's New Scarcity. For those familiar with the Emperor's New Clothes fable, NFTs are a way of trying to create an artificial scarcity in digital art. Basically, you get that NFT and that receipt has the link to the one source of that art. So you're supposed to be the only person who has a copy of that art, since you're the only person who is supposed to have access to that link.
This is a very exclusive club, Pace. What are you, their token fugitive?
Say I buy an NFT and then I sell it to someone else. What prevents me from having access to the art that I just sold? If I'm supposed to be selling exclusivity to someone else, why should I still have access and sell that exclusivity to someone for more money than I paid for it? If the art connected to the NFT becomes less exclusive with every sale, but the price increases with every sale, isn't that a disincentive to purchase? What prevents me from making a copy of the NFT and ruining everyone's investment by sharing it for free? What artist with any pride wants their art to be exclusive? If the art is that good, a business person would want to maximize the volume of transactions. So how do NFTs maximize volume? If an NFT song is on Spotify, is purchasing the NFT worth the cost of transacting? Does the time and effort it takes to purchase an NFT outweigh the ease of passive consumption on a streaming service? Why would I want to buy exclusive access to art on 5 different blockchains when I could just purchase it directly from a website? Why would anyone decide to treat the free use of pictures online any differently in an NFT era? If so, why buy exclusive access to something that is not exclusive? There are far too many questions and problems with NFTs. The proponents of NFTs would say, oh, well, it's a developing technology. They'll solve these problems. In my opinion, Occam's razor says that NFTs are the wrong solution for the digital climate. I tend towards digital freedom. The digital age has lowered the barrier to entry for effectively anyone to become an artist in the field they choose. But the second edge to that sword, the other consequence, is that reproduction and sharing of that art costs effectively nothing.
In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you guys a few different ways of how to copy and paste text on your computer. This will also work for images and other things as well.
The joke among people who make fun of NFTs, especially with 2D art, is that stealing amounts to screenshotting or right-clicking and saving. Then you own a copy of that art. So what real good does an NFT do in preventing people from making a copy of your art? Well, the scarcity comes down to the decision-making of the person who owns the NFT. Since they are, in theory, supposed to have exclusive access to this art, they choose whether or not it gets shared and to whom it gets shared and to where it gets shared. Again, in theory. But because of the nature of digital technology and frankly, information, the moment you allow the sharing of that art with other people online, you are opening up yourself to risk losing control of the scarcity. The only thing they need is a screen recorder. That's it. You can capture all digital art that way. So what is the real use of NFTs unless you want a piece of art to be extremely exclusive? Proponents of NFTs say people should learn not to steal music and 2D art for NFTs. I'm sitting here thinking, we can't keep people under the age of 18 from watching porn, and you think you're going to stop people from making and sharing memes, you idiot. If you think you're gonna change how people behave online, you're either stupid, naive, or a member of the authoritarian technocracy. Pretty much all YouTubers steal images, video footage, and music to be used in their videos. Much of the use is protected by law. Societally, we have accepted certain types of use that do not require remuneration to the original creators of the art being used. If you're talking about eradicating digital piracy for personal use, you will never end that. It's like George Bush's war on terror. NFT's war on digital piracy. It's like, you're fucking stupid.
Hey, come look at the site.
Oh, cool. Can you download the Foo Fighters?
Yeah, hold on.
And we've already come up with multiple solutions to counteract the losses of people wanting to consume digital art for free. How do NFTs stack up against these? Ad-supported and paid streaming services like Spotify. A lot of people bitch about Spotify, and if you are one of those people, I recently made a video that I think you should definitely watch. You will reframe how you look at the Spotify situation after watching that video. And we have the patron system, whether that be Patreon, Subscribestar, Bandcamp, Super Chat. More people are able to make a living making art through the patronage system than ever before. And people who were making a living are actually seeing an increase in revenue. And that's not just musicians or bullshit YouTubers like me. There are people in the 2D space who are making far more money. But shouldn't artists be paid per purchase like any other person? Like selling an orange, shouldn't I be paid for the purchase of my song? This is why I always say intellectual property is a misnomer. I have said it for years. I'm gonna keep rattling against this because people don't seem to get it. Intellectual property is a misnomer. Trying to treat information as though it has the same properties as physical objects is folly. IP laws like copyright and patent attempt to put artificial constraints on the distribution and replication of information in order to make it mimic closer to how physical assets behave. And by the way, in an age where you had to imprint information onto physical objects and physically distribute them from place to place, these laws made more sense. They weren't perfect, but they made more sense. In the digital age, when the average person has more power in their hands than NASA did 60 years ago, I think it's naive to think that people aren't going to be sharing information freely with one another. That includes information like music and pictures. I still believe artists should be paid for work that they do. For the most part, if they do shitty work, I don't think they should be paid for it. And I'm even in favor of some laws to protect that sentiment. But the way current IP and the DMCA stand right now, I'm not a fan. It's outdated and it's unbalanced. NFTs make the same errors that current IP laws make. They're trying to narrow down and quantify an unstable and potentially infinite resource. Proponents of NFTs do not have the imagination to think of information as something different from physical assets. They want to think of information as a product, and I think that is the wrong way to approach information trade. When you're purchasing a course online, you're not buying the course, you are paying for access through the paywall. You are paying for a key through the gate. NFTs act similarly, but they try to gamify the sharing of art. They almost treat access to art like a collectible object. And I think this framework will favor exclusivity over the experience of the art itself. NFTs are attempting to bridge the one-time purchase digital download space with the sharing freely space. Even though you purchase this, you are incentivized to share it by selling it to someone else so you can make your money back with interest. But who is really incentivized to be a secondhand and third-hand consumer? And if there aren't any secondhand and third-hand consumers, why not just go purchase it from a website? The further from the original purchase you are, the more risk you take on. And why would I ever need to do a risk analysis to experience art? It seems a lot more like a gimmick and, dare I say it, a scam than it does an ability to experience art. Way more emphasis is placed on the money and the trading than actually experiencing the art itself. Having said this, there are some positives to NFTs in music that I would like to address. Some believe that NFTs will lead to artist freedom. There are those who say that NFTs will liberate artists from music labels. Lamau, no. Like how I said it in Spanish that time. Any artists who have a contract with a music label, but also transacting through the blockchain, are still subject to their music label contracts. Just because you're transacting with a different technology does not mean that you don't have to pay a music label for what they are owed. If you say an artist can sell tokens for access to products that fall outside of that contract, okay, there may be some potential there. There's potential for artists to sell demos of previous songs or some type of exclusive experience that is not specifically outlined in their contract. But those items are so few and far between and will really only be valued by superfans. So unless you are already extraordinarily popular, do you really stand to make that much money off of NFTs? Again, the marketing of claiming that NFTs are better for artists seems to be driving this than the actual utility of NFTs themselves. There is one thing that I think NFTs could be extremely helpful with. Ticket scalpers. One of the worst things in the world is when you want to see a show or go to a live sports game and the only tickets available are scalped and upcharged. While it would be great to eliminate scalping altogether, it's not a very realistic prospect at the moment. But if these jerks are still gonna scalp anyway, at very least, the artist sees a cut of the resale. And if you make the artist's percentage of a retail something absolutely outrageous, like 70% of each subsequent sale, that's gonna disincentivize people to try and scalp tickets. They'd have to make an absurd markup just to make their money back. As always, they will find ways around this. I can already think of one, but the cost of scalping will increase, meaning that less people will want to do it. Now, this could make it harder on a consumer who cannot attend the event, purchase a ticket, and can't get a refund. It could be difficult giving your tickets away or selling them trying to make your money back. It's definitely not perfect, but I think it operates way better in a space that gives access to tickets as opposed to giving access to art. I'm pretty much on the side of the initialism of NFT, meaning not for art. I think there can be multiple ways NFTs can be used and adapted by businesses, including artists, in order to get additional income. But as of now, the ease of use does not compete with existing solutions. And making art exclusivity a gamified experience, I think will have a negative impact on the sharing of art and the experience of art. Until the blockchain is much more widely adopted, we will not know the real value of cryptocurrency or NFTs. And these could merely be stepping stones to much more powerful technology. If you want to gamble your money away on NFTs as they currently exist, I mean, hey, go for it, but you could be putting yourself at risk. If you want to buy an NFT in order to support an artist, you should ask yourself why you haven't purchased a direct download, purchased merchandise, or just bought an album. The option has always been there to just send them money directly. Why not just do that as a thank you? This has been Mike, the Music Snob. Let me know your thoughts on NFTs in the comments down below. I am extremely excited to hear what you guys have to say. Again, my band Crusade will have our show February 20th here in Nashville at the Cobra. Come check us out. Please support me on Subscribestar after all of that diatribe. Link to that is in the description down below. And you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Become the Night. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video. Rock on.